All right, question 61. The ozone layer helps life on Earth because ozone does what? We talked about this. The only thing that we ever talked about ozone was that ozone absorbs ultraviolet radiation. Easy question. 62. Okay, compared to the dull rock surfaces, shiny and smooth rock surfaces are most likely to cause sunlight to what? Get reflected. We just talked about this. Smooth, shiny things reflect, dull, rough things absorb. 63. In which portion of the electromagnetic spectrum is the maximum intensity of Earth's outgoing radiation? Okay, when we talk about re-radiation, the land re-radiates things as heat. What's the fancy way of saying heat? Infrared. 64. The wind that produces the snowfall came from the... Okay, if you look at the way the snow fell, you see how it's falling down towards the south and east. That means that the air came from the opposite direction. So if the snow is going towards the southeast, it means that the wind that blew the snow came from the north and west. Question 65. Temperature of 20 degrees Celsius is equal to a temperature of... You're going to use the reference table. Okay, you're going to find 20 degrees Celsius. And you're going to pull... You can see what it is in both Fahrenheit. And you can see what it is in Kelvin, depending on what the question asks you. In this case, they're asking you for Fahrenheit, so it comes out to right around 68 degrees.
Remember, guys, the lines on Fahrenheit are worth 2, and the lines on Celsius and Kelvin are only worth 1. So you have to remember that.
66 is a station model. We just did this. Okay, what were the barometric pressure and weather conditions? Okay, so barometric pressure, if you remember, barometric pressure is right around at the 2 o'clock if we're doing it like a clock symbol. So that's the 146. But remember, this is shorthand. So the rules are, if the number on this chart is less than 500, what do? You put a decimal after the last number, or between the last number and the second number, and you put a 10 in front of it. So this would be 1014.6. So 1014.6 millibars. So if we look, that cuts out 2 choices. Okay, and you have to figure out the weather conditions. The weather conditions are located at the 9 o'clock symbol. Okay, and if you look, it's the 3/4 and that little weird looking shape. If you look down at the bottom of your reference table, you will see the correct shape, and that is smog. Question 67, Mrs. G will do.
Okay, so when you're looking at it, it's asking you for the vapor pressure or the amount of moisture between where A is located and B is located. All right, as you actually go away from the water, there's less water that has been evaporated or moved away. So when you're looking at it, the vapor pressure is going to decrease.
Okay, question 68, Miss G will also do.
Oh, okay, so this question is just asking you which direction the surface winds are going to be with high pressure. Well, you guys need to remember that high pressure, it's going to go in a clockwise fashion, okay, and it's going to move outward, right? For low pressure, it's going to be counterclockwise and inward. It's something you have to memorize. So the answer has to be C for that reason. Forgetting all the numbers, forgetting the lines and everything else, just looking at the arrows alone, you need to know that for high pressure, it goes clockwise and out, and for low pressure, it goes counterclockwise and in. For 69, you don't even need the map at all, because if you look at the question, it says the general surface wind circulation associated with high pressure. We just went over this. It's going to be clockwise and outward. It's like a dress. It goes down towards the bottom. Okay. For 70, locations A and B on the North American map below are source regions for air masses. Okay, compared to the air mass formed at location B, which is going to be continental and more north, so that's going to tell me that it's going to be colder and drier, right? Location A is maritime because it's sitting in the water, right? Which tells me it's going to be wetter, and it's closer to the equator, so it's going to be warmer. So the fact that it's maritime tropic means that it's going to be warmer and wetter.